Let's talk about a story out of Delhi, where a pretty routine demolition drive suddenly spiraled into complete chaos. It's a wild example of how just one piece of online misinformation can literally catch fire and cause a real-world crisis. So let's start at the end of that chaotic night. The police took 10 social media influencers into custody. And that's the big question right away, isn't it? Why them? What exactly did they do to end up in the middle of a police investigation?
Well, here's the thing. They weren't just detained for protesting or being at the scene. The accusation against them is way more serious. Police believe they were the ones who actually spread the dangerous misinformation that led directly to all the violence.
So what's the official term for it? Rumor mongering. Basically, the police are saying that these influencers got online and told all their followers that a historic mosque, the Faiz Elahi Mosque, was being torn down by the government, a claim, as we'll see, that just wasn't true. And these weren't just anonymous accounts. We're talking about real people. The group being questioned included several men and also a female influencer named Hamadan Rizvi. She was summoned by police for allegedly putting out a really provocative post that helped fuel the fire. Okay, so how did this rumor even spread so fast? This gets us to the very heart of the police's case, the viral call to action. This is how a local issue blew up into a citywide emergency, all thanks to a few posts. The investigation is really zeroing in on some specific audio and video clips that were flying around online. And you gotta understand, these weren't just simple updates. Police say they were urgent, super emotional, and inflammatory appeals designed to get people to drop everything and rush to the scene. And just listen to the kind of language that was being used in one of these viral clips. You can just feel the panic in the words. Muslims, wake up, come out of your homes. See, this isn't just someone reporting the news. It's a direct command, and it's framed as defending your faith. That is an incredibly powerful message. But here's the detail that really poured gasoline on the fire. The video didn't just make a claim. It tried to show proof. The person speaking actually counts the bulldozers, claiming there were more than 20 of them on site. It painted this picture of a massive, unstoppable army of machines ready to tear everything down. So what happens when you have this kind of panic going viral online? Well, it doesn't stay online for long. The rumors spilled out onto the streets of Turkman Gate, and the consequences were immediate and violent. You can see exactly how it all went down. That urgent online call, it worked. A crowd gathered, thinking their mosque was in danger. As more people saw the posts and rushed over, the crowd got bigger and bigger. Then, things turned ugly. Stone pelting started, which forced the police to use what they called mild force to try and get the situation under control. And when the dust settled, here's who the police had taken in. You've got two groups here. On one side, 11 people arrested for the alleged stone pelting, the actual physical violence. And on the other side, those 10 influencers, the ones accused of starting the whole thing in the first place. So that's the chaos and the rumor. Now let's step back and look at the reality. What was actually happening at Turkman Gate that night? Because the official story is very, very different. See, this wasn't some surprise attack. It was the final step in a long legal process. The Municipal Corporation of Delhi, the MCD, had sent a notice. The mosque committee actually went to court and got things paused for a bit. But then the High Court itself gave the final green light for the demolition to go ahead. So the drive started late at night, exactly as planned. And right here, this is the most important piece of the puzzle. The rumor that went viral claimed the mosque itself was being torn down. But the facts show the demolition was only targeting illegal structures that were built around the mosque. The actual place of worship was never in any danger. So what were these illegal structures we're talking about? Well, according to the official city notice, the list included things like a marriage hall, a diagnostic center, a parking lot, even parts of a road. These were the targets, not the mosque at the center of that explosive rumor. So that brings us to what's happening now. The violence on the street has been stopped, but the investigation into where it all started online, that's just getting going. The police are casting a much wider net now. They're looking past the public posts on social media and are trying to dive deep into those private channels, like WhatsApp groups, where this kind of misinformation probably spread even faster. And they have a pretty clear game plan. First, they want to find out who actually started this whole rumor. Second, they're trying to trace how it jumped from one WhatsApp group to another and another.
And finally, their goal is to hold everyone who helped instigate that mob accountable for what happened. And really, this whole thing leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? This isn't just a story about one night in Delhi. It's about the incredible power we all hold in our hands with our smartphones. In a world where a lie can travel around the globe before the truth even gets its shoes on, who is ultimately responsible for what's true? The person who creates it? The platforms that spread it? Or every single one of us who hits share?